Have you ever seen a megalodon-sized shark in real life? Or a giant bird that can even lift up humans? What about a rat roughly the size of a dog? Or a crocodile so huge that you won't even believe it with your eyes? In fact, many of the giant animals you're about to see are captured 1 in a million times. That's because they like hiding way too much. We have 30 humongous creatures on today's list, the likes of which you won't believe. Make sure you watch to the end because some of these will make you feel absolutely tiny. You have to watch to the end to see what I mean. Make sure you leave a like down below and subscribe with post notifications turned on for more amazing videos like this. Now, let's get into it. Condor.
Perfect.
While the Steller sea eagle might be massive, it's got nothing on this next bird. The Andean condor is found in the Andes Mountains and adjacent Pacific coast of America. Compared to humans, they're massive, well dwarfing crowds. They're the largest flying bird globally by combined weight, measurement, and wingspan. 10 foot 10 inches and 33 pounds. Their wingspan stretches nearly 10 feet. They glide on the air current and soar high at a dizzying 15,000 feet when in flight. These birds were once sacred to the indigenous Americans who lived in the U.S. West open spaces, and it's easy to see why. With their incredible size and form, they'd impress just about anyone. Now, they are at near-threatened levels of endangered, having raised their population by around 300 more birds. Elephant seal. Some of these massive creatures take to the skies while others stay on land or they're seaborne. The elephant seal, for example, is larger than nearly all pinnipeds, which are carnivorous aquatic mammals of the Pinnipedia, like seals or walruses. Southern elephant seal bulls typically get as large as 16 feet long and weigh around 7,000 pounds. They're much larger than their female counterpart, which still grows as large as 1,600 pounds and over 9 feet long. This means a male elephant seal is roughly the size of a small truck or cargo van. No competition. They spend most of their lives, upwards of 80% in the ocean, and can hold their breath for more than 100 minutes while covering over 60 miles on the sea per day. Albino rat. What about a rat roughly the size of a chihuahua, if not larger? These larger than average rodents could give the family pet a run for their money. This clip shows that they can grow roughly 5 times larger than an average muskrat and are very different from their lab or house pet counterparts. They're called nutrias, and they're like the lab rat's aggressive, territorial, defensive cousin. They're excellent swimming animals and can spend nearly 5 minutes beneath the surface before they need to breathe. River fish. Sometimes our underwater counterparts can be incredible in ability and size. These men were searching for big fish on the Trinity River, and what they roped in was nearly the size of a small crocodile. It was almost enough to pull him boldly into the water. His friend had to grab him by the collar to make sure he didn't go out with it. Luckily, they can release the massive catch and get to shore by working together. Freshwater fish like this, or a sturgeon, can grow upwards of 15 to 20 feet long, weighing over a whole ton. If that's what this guy roped in, he's lucky it looks like a baby. Giant eagle. As if we need another reason to remember that birds are long-lost relatives of dinosaurs. This one even sounds like it. This is a Steller sea eagle, the largest Haliartus bird and one of the largest raptor birds overall. They weigh around 14.75 pounds and are roughly 3.4 feet long. They're roughly 1.5 feet taller than an adult bald eagle and have a massive golden bill that's hard to miss. They're rare. Only roughly 4,000 of these are left in the wild, compared to the hundreds of thousands of bald eagles. They're generally from eastern Russia, Korea, and northern Japan, but they have pockets worldwide. Shark. If you've seen Jaws, you probably imagine what it's like to see a massive creature with jaws that could crush through a boat. Great whites can jump as high as 15 feet through the air, if not higher, and were once as big as 60 feet long, if not larger in the times of the massive megalodon. These gigantic predators have a bite force of 1,300 pounds per square inch, with the bull shark considered now to have the most powerful set of jaws in the whole species. At this massive size and strength, we hardly have to paint the picture of how much they dwarf us on this planet. Make sure you show your love by leaving a like down below in the comments. And while you're down there, like and subscribe to the channel for more incredible videos we have coming up. Horse. Among some of our oldest companions, we've bred horses that are at the height of several people stacked head to toe. There's the Shire horse, one of the world's largest horses. They make other horses look like dwarves in comparison and can weigh upwards of 2,400 pounds. While they're often shown off now, these horses were bred to large for industrial and farm work alike. Horses are incredible companions and having amazing skills like no other animal can boast of. They have nearly 360-degree field of vision, but they often use their lips, whiskers, and sense of smell to see what's in front of them. Sometimes horses are known to mouth things before they get a look at them, which goes to show just how important their mouths are. Largest dog. Dog or small, floppy-tongued bear. These dogs are the size of small toddlers with at least the fur of 2 or 3 animals. When one comes bounding after you, they gallop because of their size. The largest Tibetan Mastiff in the world's name was Yushu, Tibet, weighing upwards of 250 pounds. Highly intelligent, independent, and stubborn, they're also sensitive to human moods, often getting upset at the sound of yelling or discipline or arguments between adults. They make great pets as they enjoy company but are relatively low stress and easy to handle. Snake. Have you ever seen a snake stop traffic? Sometimes they need to cross the road too. The largest snakes in the world are in the boa or python families. The reticulated python, or Maliopython reticulus, is the longest snake globally, reaching up to 6.5 meters in length. Some species, like the anaconda, can be smaller but weigh up to 550 pounds with a massive diameter of 12 inches. Pythons can coil around their prey and squeeze them to death within just a few minutes, but often swallow their meals whole. Probably best to give them a wide berth and the right of way when you can. Shoebill. In the Uganda Wildlife Education Center, you'll find the world's largest stork, a kind and gentle animal that loves the company of others. They get as large as 5 feet tall with an 8-foot wingspan, making them roughly the size of a teenager at full size. They're very docile with humans at 15 pounds, not a threat to anyone, even small children. They come to cameras and curiously check out visitors under good circumstances. Despite their size, they do have the ability to fly. They simply don't need to very often, as there are few natural predators that they might need to escape. Have you ever seen something as interesting and downright funky as these land birds before? Gharial. This massive, unique reptile is different than any other. Starting first, they're known as fish-eating crocodiles. Surprisingly enough, they don't eat humans. Only about 650 of these are left, as these timid creatures are in short supply. They're so rare, in fact, that we've not studied them nearly as much as their cousins. They're commonly found in Pakistan, Bhutan, and Myanmar. The largest known gharial was around 21 feet long, found in the Gangara River in Faizabad in the 1920s. You can most notably tell the difference between them and a normal crocodile by their unique, long, skinny snout, making them truly one of a kind. We're about midway through today's video. Just a few more creatures to go before seeing who is at the top of today's list. Do you have any guesses? Leave them in the comments now and check back and see how it holds up at the end. Croc. The crocodile, by contrast, looks more like a massive stone than a reptile. Not only is it massive, the largest crocodile ever was a record-breaking 20.24 feet long, though in the wild, they don't get quite that big. The largest crocodile currently alive is around 18 feet long, named Cassius, and lives at the Marine Man Melanaceae on Green Island. If you think their teeth are threatening, their jaws can apply over 5,000 pounds of pressure per square inch and tend to snap shut on their prey. They go through 4,000 teeth over their lifetime due to the unnatural force and power behind that iconic bite. Whale. Up close, whales are incredibly big. You can really imagine thinking that they were sea monsters in the past. Blue whales are some of the largest, weighing up to 4,000 pounds and reaching 98 feet in length. For example, that's 33 elephants in size and the height of Christ the Redeemer in Brazil. These are the largest animals to have ever lived on Earth. Their tongues are as heavy as an elephant, and their heart are the size of an automobile. These gentle giants are docile, and humpback whales specifically are some of the most intelligent on Earth. They seem to understand how fragile humans are and are gentle when they feel respected by humans. Lion. King of the Savannah. Lions are truly the king of any domain they might wander into. A lion can easily take down a car or break through a window. Lions can dwarf a human, growing as large as 690 pounds, with some variations, like the tiger, coming in even larger. They're the only cats known to live in groups. Depending on how much food is available, these prides can be up to 30 in numbers. The females are the main hunters, while the males stay back and guard their young and their territory. They get their water from plants, as it turns out, making them uniquely adapted creatures on the hot, dry savanna. Tiger. Not just lions, but tigers are massive creatures too. Standing on two legs, they can be as big as 10 feet tall. Though at the shoulders, they stand between 3.5 to 4 feet tall. Generally, they tend to weigh up to 550 pounds on average, but the largest recorded tiger was 932 pounds, measuring around 10 feet 11 inches long from nose to tail tip. There are about 8 subspecies of tiger, each having its own unique features and behavior. That's not all though. Every tiger stripe pattern is unique, like a snowflake. Pig. Pigs are cute and intelligent creatures, but sometimes they're the size of a horse. The largest pig in the world's name is Big Bill, who weighed over 2,500 pounds. Domestic pigs generally live about 15 to 20 years, only about 10 to 14 years in the wild. Despite their appearance, pigs are incredibly clean creatures, keeping themselves washed and well-groomed in their natural state. In fact, they can't even sweat. They're clean. They're intelligent, in fact. They're smarter than the usual house pet, especially dogs. They have an excellent memory and a sense of direction. Monkey slug caterpillar. We don't all think about caterpillars being big, yet in the Amazon rainforest, you'll find the amazing, unique monkey slug caterpillar. They're distinctive as they have 6 hairy, curly projections spiralizing out of their bright orange fuzzy bodies. These legs have suction cups, keeping their movements strangely slug-like. These hairs are actually stinging, so petting them is probably not a good idea while they look somewhat fuzzy. They tend to be about an inch long and eventually hatch into a hag moth with an incredible 1-foot wingspan. Rooster. Not all roosters are created the same, like the massive one that's the size of a small child. It's not every day a chicken gets to be an international star and bona fide internet celebrity, but it's not hard to see why this incredible rooster has done exactly that. After a video was shared on Kosovo-based Facebook group for fancy chicken aficionados, the clip spread like wildfire. They're called Brahma chickens, and while they're naturally pretty big, this one is even larger than most, weighing in at 16.5 pounds and about the size of a toddler. This bird is truly one of a kind. Luckily, these imposing creatures are not only unique, but they're very friendly and actually quite affectionate, as he's well loved and taken care of. His owner claims his temperament is easy, and the bird receives all the attention he might need. Huge fish. Sometimes fish can get as big as a boat, and things like that'll remind you the world is massive compared to us. The Goliath grouper is the largest Atlantic grouper and tends to grow up as large as 800 pounds, or 8 feet in length. They might sound intimidating, and to fish, they definitely are. Humans, however, have little to fear from these mighty creatures. Actually, they're another animal known as a gentle giant. They definitely could eat a human if they wanted to, but they usually won't. Ostrich. Some of the largest land animals are truly unique. The ostrich, for instance, easily dwarfs the average human. Their egg is as large as a melon. They tend to grow between 6.9 and 9.2 feet tall and weigh anywhere from 140 to 320 pounds at full size. Even as a baby, these birds are huge. Chicks are only 10 inches, which is still massive compared to other land birds. They grow anywhere from 10 to 12 inches every month for the first 6 months of their life, but they don't reach full height or maturity until 3 or 4 years, which is also when males are known to grow their white and black feathers. They have the biggest eyes of any land animal and some of the smallest brains. They can see everything, but they're surprisingly dim-witted in the process. Goat. Goats are pretty much a menace at any size, known for being troublemakers. This one, however, is about the size of a pony, nearly dwarfing the people around him. Guinness World Record for the largest goat went to a goat in the UK named Mostyn Moorcock, a British Sanian goat that stood at about 44 inches to the shoulder and around 66 inches long. They average between 44 to 310 pounds and usually don't exceed 30 inches tall. They were the first animals to be tamed and herded by humans around 9,000 years ago. Unlike some on the list, goats generally tend to live as long as a dog, and they're intelligent enough to know their name and come when called. Elephants. It's hard to talk about big animals and not talk about elephants. These incredible creatures are known for being intelligent, naturally curious, and friendly toward humans, as long as they don't feel threatened. An elephant could easily crush a person, or a car for that matter. They just generally don't tend to, as they actually find humans cute. Elephants can, on record, get to as large as 13 feet and 24,000 pounds. Usually they don't get that big, but the African elephant is known to get much, much larger than their Asian relatives. While they don't usually eat humans, their incredible jaws could bite through a human skull easily. Only when threatened will they fight back though. So it's best practice to be respectful and mind your distance. Camel. There are camels out there that dwarf even some of the largest horses known to man, which is incredible given the scarcity of resources where they come from. The dromedary is the tallest of all 3 camel species, and they tend to grow to 6.6 feet at the shoulder of males. They can weigh as much as 880 to 1,320 pounds at full size. They can go weeks without drinking any water, and their humps act as both excess fat and heat regulators. Interestingly, camel milk is among the healthiest milk in the world, despite the fact it's not sold all over. It's surprisingly good for you. Biggest bear. Most of us don't know what we'd do if we encountered a bear in the wild. Strangely enough, they won't always go after you. This bear doesn't seem all that interested in the people as it walks past them, looks at a sign, and just meanders back. The largest bear in the world is the Kodiak bear, as the males can get as big as 10 feet on 2 legs and weigh around 1,500 pounds. While you're better off not bothering them, only one person has been killed by a Kodiak bear in the last 75 years, which may have more to do with the care that goes into maintaining the resources and habitat for these massive creatures. The happier they are, the less likely they need a bite to eat. Elk. A good rule of thumb is to keep away from anything whose antlers could gore through you instantly. On record, the largest elk was a Roosevelt elk, found in the northwestern United States like Washington or Oregon. They stand at 5 feet by the shoulder and can grow as large as 1,200 pounds. While they have smaller antlers than a Rocky Mountain elk, they make up for their overall size and mass. These giants are gentle. They may not seem threatening, but they can be aggressive and sometimes attack without reason. Depending on the season, you might run into a female in the spring protecting its young, or a particularly belligerent male in the fall. If you encounter one, make sure you keep your distance. Don't touch their young and simply back away slowly to give it space. With antlers like that, you probably won't win the fight. There's always something bigger out there, always something fighting for the top of the food chain. Did you see your favorite on this list? Just one more to go. Let us know if we missed an opportunity down below in the comments. Let us know and maybe you'll see it in an upcoming video. If you want more unique, engaging, and sometimes downright wild content, go ahead and subscribe to the channel for us. And while you're at it, make sure you hit the notification bell so you never miss a single video. Moose. There's nothing like driving down the road only to realize a moose is taking up some highway space. Larger than humans by a massive stretch, these incredible creatures dwarf even the average SUV. Usually they'll grow to anywhere from 4.6 feet to 10 feet tall, with a mass of 400 to 1,100 pounds. They grow so quickly that it takes only 5 days for them to be able to outrun even an adult human. Much like the elk, they have an unearned gentle reputation. For example, moose might not be immediately seen as a threat, despite more people in Alaska being injured by moose than bears each year. Moose generally tend to flee when threatened, but they're known to be aggressive on average. If you're impressed by these massive antlers, you might be interested to learn that bull moose actually shed their antlers each year. Alright, that's it for today. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to Forever Green, and hit that bell icon for more. We'll see you in the next one.